Round 10 and to Croft. And if you want to see why the BSB has become so popular, you need to look no further than this meeting. It had everything. Changeable weather, close action, unbelievably close finishing. Racing don't get any better than this.
Championship standings going into race 1 today. Ryoichi Kiyanari on 274 points from Leon Haslam, Gregorio Lavia and Shane Byrne. Johnny Ray, the 19-year-old, in just 5th place, but looking good today. Carl Harris, Michael Laverty and Michael Rutter are our top 8. In 9th place is Tommy Hill. He too is going very well here at Croft. Scott Smart is out with a broken wrist. Glenn Richards, Craig Coxall. Dean Thomas is back at last in racing mode, so we'll be seeing more from Dean later in the race. Ben Wilson is 14. Gary Mason 15th, and James Hayden still not back from that injury. And the grid. Front row, Jonathan Ray on pole again from Leon Haslam, Ryoichi Kiyanari and Gregorio Lavia. Row 2, Shane Byrne, Carl Harris, Tommy Hill and Michael Rutter. Jonathan Ray on pole, can he convert it? The youngster looking down at the bike, trying to get a Red Bull Honda. That's a great launch from him as well. Launch control buzzing in as they head down towards turn 1 first time. This is going to be very hectic. Across the front comes Kiyanari on bike number 2. And but Johnny Ray sweeps across the front, absolutely majestically into turn 1. That is a great start for the Red Bull rookie boy, as he was last year. Now he's on a full-blown Red Bull Honda and being chased by his teammate, in inverted commas, the HM Plant Honda of Ryoichi Kiyanari. What a battle this is going to be. Haslam in 3rd place. 4th is Shane Byrne. 5th is Gregorio Lavia, I think.
5th looked like Carl Harris to me, Keith, but Kiyanari right, looking around the outside of Johnny Ray.
Tommy Hill up underneath Carl Harris as well, as through goes Kiyanari. Kiyanari out in front now of Johnny Ray, and that, for my money, is the best thing that can happen, to have Kiyanari tow him round. Kiyanari, of course, a winner last year here, and Haslam right on their heels as well. Join us in the commentary position is Scott Smart, injured at the moment. Scott, great start.
Yeah, very much. You can see it's damp all the way around the track.
Tommy Hill diving up the inside. Sorry, Scott, but Tommy Hill right at the inside, as aggressive as you like.
He's a bully, isn't he, when he's in here, this Tony Club car fella.
Exactly, and you can see Shane, you had to give him the corner, because as soon as he's out on the damp stuff, you just haven't got the grip, so you've got to give it up. So if somebody behind you gets the drive and gets up the inside of you, they win the dry bit of racetrack.
Did you see the amount of rain spots there were on that camera just then as we come down to end the lap at the moment? Kiyanari on bike number 2 to lead from 65, Jonathan Ray. Then it's 91, Leon Haslam. Leon Haslam so wants a race win in this Superbike series at the moment, but really, Kiyanari off on it. Then it's number 1 in 4th place. That's Gregorio Lavia. Tommy Hill it was that came through into 5th place, displacing Carl Harris. And Shane Byrne has gone back, what, 3 places since the start of this race. Look at Kiyanari right the way out, right over the curb, just looking for the fastest, well, the shortest as well, A to B trajectory.
When it's spitting with rain, the curbs are the place you don't want to be. So there's a reasonable amount of grip on line, but you've got to be committed, and he looks fast. Of all the tyre manufacturers in this, you'd say that the Michelins on the Honda would have been the worst in these conditions, but he's doing a good job with them.
I'll tell you what, this is the man for me on the Pirellis. Tommy Hill on bike number 8, all over the rear end of Gregorio Lavia. The thing is with the Pirelli tyre, and Tommy Hill particularly at the moment, he knows he can make it work if the conditions are exactly right for his bike and his tyre.
Yeah, tell me about having the right conditions and the right tyre, but basically I think this is his big opportunity, because he's not going to be at such a disadvantage. The tyres aren't going to wear out so quickly because they're not doing the lap times, and this is the time to make the Pirellis shine.
Well, Haslam on bike number 91 in 3rd place there, and again Kiyanari out wide, straight across the concrete. Jonathan Ray, the more conservative route, but Leon Haslam seems to have learned something from the Japanese rider, because he too went right across. There goes Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray goes through then on Kiyanari. Kiyanari, well, might not have expected that perhaps, and look at the lead that Jonathan Ray has got now. I've got my fingers crossed, because I just want Jonathan Ray not to go and make a mistake this early on in a race. We're only on lap 3 through. Haslam has gone as well. Haslam has moved through on Kiyanari. Kiyanari's gone back too. What about the rain?
He's going to go back another one.
Lavia as well, so Lavia's moved up. Now then, do you think the rain is on their visor?
Yeah, I think so. And also Kiyanari, we've seen it, had a slide in turn 1. The bike's been moving around a lot more than everybody else's. And I said the Michelins, they generally don't like these conditions, and the more sort of compliant Dunlop's giving a bit more feedback.
Tell you what, the more compliant Pirelli is also going to be pouncing on Ryoichi Kiyanari in a moment. If you look at bike number 8, we're looking at Gregorio Lavia, bike number 1 now, but if you look at bike number 8 there, Tommy Hill just coming into shot just behind Ryoichi Kiyanari. He's going to have a pounce too if he's near enough.
Take a look at this then, as Haslam comes up the inside of Kiyanari, as well as Gregorio Lavia has a bit of a look at it. Kiyanari just snapping from one side to the other in the braking area as they come over that hill, the hump into the turn. But it's Jonathan Ray who now, the pole sitter, has moved away. The second youngest man in this Superbike race, Peter Hickman on the Hawk Kawasaki, being just the youngest by a little margin, but you've got to say Lavia's riding a very sensible race here as well. He's tested the judge. Well, I'll tell you what, he didn't judge that too well coming out of there, but it looks to me like he's soaking up.
Down. It looks like there's a lot of marshals running.
Yeah, marshals running as if there's some debris on the track, perhaps. Maybe something has fallen off a machine on the exit to the hairpin onto the front straight. Hasn't bothered these guys this time round. It's just outside our commentary position, actually. We can
I think it might have been Tommy Hill having a big moment. Look, you can see Lavia went across the white line on the inside.
Lost it. Traction control's all very well, but you haven't got the grip. All it does is banging traction control and you don't go anywhere. Where is Dino Thomas? Let's have a look.
He's in 7th, which is a pretty sterling effort. He was getting so tired after the week, as the weekend's gone on.
Big effort. Through has gone Chianari. Chianari has picked off another place now while we talk about Dean Thomas. Ryoichi Chianari, I do believe that this track is cleaning up and coming to the Honda and the Michelins at this moment in time, because the two Airways Ducatis now have slipped back. Be interested to see what he does when he goes over the line. 1:21.2 was his time last time round. 1:21.5. Yeah, just a little bit. It's still not his personal best, but Johnny Ray keeps putting in a personal best as we look at Chianari go through again.
I'll tell you what, Keith, our aerial shot looking down onto the hairpin, you just see the way Chianari managed to leap out of that slow corner. It was phenomenal, and Scott next to me, we were both sort of nodding our head watching him jump out of there.
Yeah, he hooked it up. I think his corner speed isn't always as good as the Ducatis, but once he gets it picked up, wow, does he drive it out hard.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Gregorio Lavia sat up as well there.
Now that's a hard place to make a pass.
Did it though? Banged that in.
So, Leon Haslam now looking at the rear end of the Spaniard. Gregorio Lavia. Well, I'm going to have to see whether any of these guys have got their hand up again to try and stop this race. Don't look like it to me. Of course, they've only been, what, 4 winners of Superbike races this time so far this year. Ryoichi Chianari on 7. Gregorio Lavia on 7. Oh, Tommy Hill's gone down.
No, that's Billy McConnell.
It's Billy McConnell, you're right. If all else fails, read what it says on his leathers, Ewan. Billy McConnell. We're on lap 9 of 20. Johnny Ray goes through.
2 seconds lap slower. Oh, right at the white line.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't get much wider than that, does it really, this racetrack? But he still manages to pull it down. Oh, he's gone through. Chianari is there. And I was about to say about the other winners of Superbike races this year, of course, including Scott Smart beside me. Yellow flag out now. No passing, gentlemen, please.
This will be where McConnell probably went down.
Yeah.
But this is where you see all of the rain on the lens. We saw this in the last lap. When the camera pulls back, you get an idea of just how much rain's coming down out there.
That's the two Airways Ducatis we're talking about in a moment. But while we weren't looking at Jonathan Ray on the 65 bike, he's just stuck in the fastest lap of the race. 1:20.937 on lap 12. That's a great lap time from Johnny Ray. So he's settled in. This is what I like about this kid. He's 19 years old and he has the maturity. He's had a bit of a moment where he's getting himself in a muddle. He's sat back on the bike for a second. The weather's perhaps come back to him a little bit. He's calmed himself down. He's sticking in fast laps again now. Oh, dear me.
That's Glenn.
Glennie Richards down then.
From 8th position.
Now, he had problems in practice as well.
Now, if you just quickly look at his forks there, he's got the black forks on. Glenn Richards has been running showers, not the usual white peas in this round.
Let's take a look at this and see what he did. Oh, he's got it well and truly hot into there.
Oh,
it looks like he's just run off onto the grass.
Fell over on the grass.
The grass is so saturated from yesterday, you've got no chance.
As soon as you touch a brake, bang. Leon Haslam seems to be just struggling now in 4th place at the moment on that 91 bike, the Airway Ducati. Haslam can't quite catch his #1 bike, but it's all about whether Johnny Ray, he's got a 1:20.812, but so has Gregorio Lavia. Gregorio Lavia also put that time in as well. So Gregorio Lavia equalled that time despite the fact that Ray is being credited with it.
You can see they're noticeably closing up, and there's that mental, around here it'll be about 1.2 seconds gap. Once you get to that point, you seem to get sucked into the guy in front of you.
This is the battle for what? 7th place at the moment. So 41 in there is Craig Coxall, the young Australian.
I'll tell you what, Tommy Hill's done a good job because he'd gone back down to about 12th place. He's had to fight his way back through.
Well, Carl Harris has not done a bad job either, because Carl Harris has come up from falling on the floor.
So many riders here we should applaud. Look at Dean Thomas hanging on the back of this in bike number 12.
Final lap, of course, just to remind you, Chianari leads by just over a second on the last lap as they came across our timing monitors. Haslam right out in the concrete as well. Sorry, that was Gregorio right out in the concrete. Haslam almost...
Well, let Leon just run right onto the back of him.
But it's so difficult to make a clean pass around this section of the track. It is very much a one-line racetrack.
Does it have to be a clean pass?
It doesn't have to be clean, but he's gonna have a go in a second. Look at him.
Coming down in towards the complex now. Chianari surely is going to win. I think Haslam is going to have to take the discretionary route.
He's going to go on the inside of the hairpin.
No, he's not going to get a chance. Haslam, I think, has been pretty good in the manner that he's given Gregorio Lavia enough room in the closing corner. Chianari then wins again, this time from Jonathan Ray. Jonathan Ray thwarted in his effort to win his first Superbike race with Gregorio Lavia in third place. Fine win then for Ryoichi Chianari, just 9/10 of a second in front of Jonathan Ray, eventually finishing second again this year. Gregorio Lavia third, Leon Haslam couldn't do anything about that either. Shane Byrne a lonely fifth, Michael Rudder sixth, Tommy Hill and Craig Coxall top 8. We're looking at the pole sitter, 19-year-old Jonathan Ray on the Red Bull Honda. Can he convert that into a race win? He had to finish in second place in race 1. Ryoichi Chianari looking so good. They come under orders. 18 laps is your race distance. Johnny Ray loads up the front end and launch control is underway as they go down then to turn 1. Who's it going to be that tips it in first? Rutter goes through. Rutter goes through from the second row of the grid. Superb from Michael Rutter. Can he pull it down across the puddles? He can. Tommy Hill's there as well in second place. Then it's Gregorio Lavia, it looks to be on bike number 1. But number 3, the Stobart Honda. Who would have called it? It is Michael Rutter out there at the moment. So Rutter looking so good. Then it's Tommy Hill. Then it is Gregorio Lavia, then it's Ryoichi Chianari. I think probably from his teammate Carl Harris. It is Carl Harris.
Behind him, Johnny Ray. So Johnny again didn't get off the line very well. These conditions proving really treacherous for the Red Bull Honda. Gregorio Lavia looking good in second. Carl Harris had to look at the inside of Chianari.
Got to be careful, of course, because Chianari now really is in a charge mode as far as the championship is concerned. And you've got to be sure to make the pass as underneath goes Gregorio Lavia on number 8, Tommy Hill on the Virgin Mobile bike. He's gone back a place. Carl Harris is hustling Ryoichi Chianari, and really no mistakes can be had at this part of the race because the penalty does not fit the crime. If they go off here, they lose everything.
Fourth on the grid for Gregorio Lavia, wasn't where he wanted to be at the end of qualifying, couldn't match the pace. They were in the mid-19s, the pole position guys, and Gregorio had a bottom lip out. He was having his head down. He was very miserable about it. Ryoichi Chianari now having a look at the inside of Tom Hill. Not from back there, you're not, Ryoichi.
Johnny Ray, the pole sitter, 65, looking for a way around the outside of Carl Harris. He's got a big fight on his hands. If he does that, he goes underneath Carl Harris. That's a great move there as we widen out and catch it going down into the complex. Carl Harris has muscled his way back in front of Johnny Ray. Through has gone Ryoichi Chianari on Tommy Hill. So Chianari now slides up into that third place behind Gregorio Lavia.
Looked like Johnny Ray slipped off his foot pegs just as he was hitting the brakes to go into that hairpin.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
But these,
it's like floating the boat out there at the moment. You might as well go jet skiing. I've never seen so much water for some time. Well,
what's all that flapping out the back of Johnny Ray? It looks like he's got some stuff, tape off the back of his waterproofs or something.
Well, quite often you stick all your bits down, don't you, so that the water doesn't get in your boots and everywhere else in these kind of conditions. And maybe he's just got a bit of a tape flapping around at the moment.
He's got Tommy Hill flapping around behind him at the moment. He's just took him there going into the
Tommy
chicane.
Hill's going backwards, though, rather than forwards at this particular point. We're on lap 2 of 18. Still Michael Rudder leads from Gregorio Lavia's.
Harris.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
Early call, wrong
words. We must be getting better.
Yeah, Leon Haslam, Johnny Ray. All our tips beforehand, but conditions have put pay to that.
Harris through on Kia. I don't quite see where he did that, but number 9, Carl Harris has gone past Ryoichi Chianari. Harris fancies himself a bit in this one as well, didn't he? Look how quick he's got up to the rear end of the Airwaves Ducati.
Well, you remember at Alton Park when we were surmising whether there was team orders or not, when he sat sort of shotgun to Ryoichi Chianari, and then 3 laps from the end, Keogh made a break. I was talking to Carl about that yesterday, and he said he was trying everything he could to hang on to the back of Keogh.
You know, you said about slipping off footrest, we just saw the same thing there from Harris. Harris having a look at the inside of Gregorio Lavia, but that would have been a lunge from back there. Was it last year when it was the Harris versus Michael Rutter thing at Alton Park as well, where those two got stuck together? So we might be having a bit more of that in a minute, part 2.
Talking about slipping off footrests, this morning down in pit lane, Tommy Hill took his race boots and he was actually cutting, I kid you not, cutting grooves into the bottom of it.
Oh, Marty Nutt has gone down. The Ulsterman Marty Nutt then on the Nutt Suzuki is down out of the Superbike Cup. And he was in a commanding position after race 1 today. He was putting it to Chris Martin, the Superbike Cup leader. So Marty Nutt out, but at least he's not injured anymore. 3, Rutter goes through. Gregorio Lavia under a lot of pressure now from number 9, Carl Harris. Harris having a look up the inside of Gregorio Lavia. I think he's a little too far back. Yes, he is. That camera angle just about fools me every time. You can see, outside is a bow wave, and inside comes Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray, well, I really feel sorry for Johnny Ray. He's within he's so close to winning his first Superbike race. I mean, race 1 today, he's putting in pole position now, and he's just 19 years old. Peter Hickman is the only one younger than him in this in this race.
Carl Harris is in 6th place in the championship overall.
Oh, here we go. Harris got good drive then. Dropped it straight underneath Michael Rudder. Rudder went a little bit wide there. Went for the classic line. I'm having a bit of that, said Carl Harris. And just straight through. HM Plant Honda. Well, I don't suppose they mind which way round it is, do they? You've got an HM Plant Honda out front, whether it's Harris or Kianari. Although Kianari needs to make sure he keeps the points haul going in the ascending.
Yeah, Ryuichi Kianari currently in 4th place.
This is where...
Well, Blade just runs a little bit wide, doesn't he?
He just looks for the line, I think. And Harris, being ever the opportunist, just gave it a little squirt in between the two, the double apex there. Now then, who's that in the slipstream of number 2? It is Haslam, indeed. I recognise the helmet, but it looked a little bit for a moment like a Tommy Hill helmet. Through comes Haslam. Harris has the fastest lap of the race last time round, but I wouldn't be surprised to see... Where was he off to then? I think he got car park grip, didn't he? Went for a bit of extra tarmac out in the car park, Haslam. Another shot indeed of...
No, I think this is the shot, Keith. I think he just runs it in there, and Blade just runs a little bit wide. A little bit wide, can't turn the bike enough, and Gregorio Olivier just nips up the inside and drive all the way through. Yeah, and no drive at all for Rutter as he was on the... well, it limits the revs when you got the old traction control working. 10 laps to go. I'll tell you what, Haslam is so fast coming down into the braking area there. Can he make the stop? He can't make the stop is the question. Well, that was all Haslam's fault. Yeah. Haslam came in there too hot. I asked if he could make the stop. He can't make the stop. And off he pokes Michael Rutter. Well, what would be going through your mind right now if you were Rutter? Strangulation. Yeah. I would be wanting to get after Mr. Haslam. I mean, it wasn't Rutter's fault. Rutter doesn't do that to anybody else in this particular circumstance. Haslam, very keen indeed to get under him, just backs it in a little bit much and then runs wide, takes Michael Rutter with him. Rutter's on the wide line, domino effect. There is nowhere where you can turn that bike. The grass is wet. I mean, he did well not to throw it on the floor when he got to the greenery. And Shane Burns snipped through as well, ever the opportunist. So Burns gone through, Laverty's gone through as well on Michael Rutter. There, a 33 bike is Michael Laverty. So what could have been a race win here for Michael Rutter, or certainly looked like it from the opening laps, has now turned into a disaster and he's way down the order. I don't think you can class him in the same category as that man there. Haslam gets good drive then, and I reckon the old traction control kicked in on Lavia at that particular point, because it looked like Haslam managed to find some dry drive and go by. He's out wide. That's cost him dearly again, but he's got the drive and he keeps the position. Haslam has gone through on Lavia, and I'd be surprised if Lavia has an answer to that, because I think Haslam on the racetrack was a quicker man. And I'll tell you what, Carl Harris can't go to sleep, because if he takes it too easy, this young man is going to be after him. Haslam looking very quick, 1:27.8. He's doing everything he can, a second and a half, 1.6 seconds quicker than Harris that time round. He's got, what, 4 laps to do. Dear me, this might be a bit closer than I thought it might have been. 6 seconds is the lead, Harris over Haslam, last time over the line. Hill. Tommy Hill's down. So Tommy Hill, I don't know what that hand signal was. You can tell us all later. Answers on a postcard, please. You do know what that hand signal was, Keith, if you're honest. He's not happy, is he? Yeah, he's a great kid, Tommy Hill, as well. He's another one for the future. We've got such a lot of talent coming up at the moment. Young talent coming up in bikes here in this country. You know, the thing with Tommy Hill is this year he's really developed as a team leader out there for Virgin. Did you see that? Riding the ripples. Every hair on me. I know there's not a lot of them anymore on my head, but went on end then. Jesus, he went through that corner then on the rev limiter or on the traction control. You could hear it banging away, and it was on its side, knee dragging in the puddle. Superb style. No wonder he's quicker than anyone else out there. And he's closing on Carl Harris. We're in the complex. How many? It was 6.4 last time round. What's it going to be this time? 6.4 was the gap. Hasn't come to the line now. You don't often see a rider in the wet or in these conditions enjoying it quite as much as Leon is right now. It's magnificent to watch somebody at the top of their game. Leon Haslam's ridden 125s in Grand Prix, 250 in Grand Prix, 500s in Grand Prix. He's ridden superbikes, super sports. He's ridden scooters. CB 500 Cup. CB 500 Cup. You name it, he's ridden it. And he's still only, what, 23 years old, 24 years old. I tell you, Leon's taking chunks out of him there. First third of this lap, I don't think we'll have seen one that fast all day, giving it dry, wet and whatever, but Leon is hunting him down. I reckon it's on for the complex. Watch him through here, and I reckon you might be right, but it's going to be a case of... Oh, through that right-hander. Where is Haslam finding the grip? Michelin shot HM Plant Honda versus Dunlop shot Airways Ducati. This will be the best timed race of the decade. He's on him. Haslam managed to get by him at the hairpin. We've just got the complex to go. Haslam's going to go for the inside for sure. There is no way that Carl Harris is going to... Haslam
goes through. Can he pull it back down again? We're going to be strangled by rugby men in a minute if we carry on.
Look at Carl off the footrest.
It didn't fall off it. He was pushed off it by Leon Haslam. Haslam forced it under. Carl's going to come back at him, but can't. He's too far back. Leon Haslam, the best judge race I have seen in such a long, long time. Haslam wins the HM Plant Honda in second place. Carl Harris did everything right.
Wow.
He was still beaten. Colin right there in the middle of your picture will be ecstatic. 1:26.661 was Haslam's time on the very last lap. Carl Harris cannot be disappointed with his performance. Did Shane Byrne come through on Lavia? No, he didn't. Lavia got third place. Byrne got fourth place. Chianari will surely come through in fifth place in front of Michael Rutter. We wait for them to cross the line. Chianari is fifth. Michael Rutter comes through in sixth. Ryoichi Chianari, just a 3-point lead now over Leon Haslam. Look at the difference this has made. Gregorio Lavia is on 292. Shane Byrne is in fourth place on 198. Jonathan Ray on 176. A point in front now of Carl Harris. Michael Laverty and Michael Rutter still 7th and 8th.
And Leon Haslam, well, congratulations, Leon. 18 races it's taken to manage to top the podium now. What's it like?
I'm looking forward to the next race with you not asking me when I was going to win, so now I'm over the moon. Big thanks to Airwaves and Dunlop. Fantastic job for that rain. I didn't get the best of starts, but I didn't think I was going to do it, but I managed to just do it on that last lap. And like I say, I did run Michael off on one of the corners, so I've obviously got to apologise to him, but like I say, I'm really happy.
The only problem is now you're going to want more wins, Leon. You've tasted that winner champagne.
Yeah, definitely. Got on that rostrum, and like I say, the last 3 tracks, my favourite 3 tracks. We won Cadwell last year, we won Brands last year, and we had 2 podiums at Silverstone. So for me, just bring it on. I want to get out there now and try and keep these winning going.
Go and celebrate with your team, Leon.
Cheers, thanks.